Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Welcome y'all to a Woman's Tale podcast with Danté
and Ashanté.
I'm Danté, as I said before. I am a registered nurse. I am a mother to 3 kids, and I've been married for some time now.
And I am Ashanté. I am a visual artist and just a creative soul. Like, I just love to create. So, yes, we're sisters, if you didn't know. And, this is a Woman's Tale. We just wanted to, this was initially Danté's idea to do the podcast, and she helped me. Hey. I wanted to say. She asked me to join. I wanted to say that.
Well, anyway, y'all, we're coming in hot for this first episode. We came in with a super spicy topic, a topic that is kind of taboo that, people don't like to speak on openly. But we wanted to, start with something super spicy. So the topic of the day is sex. Sex is something that is very natural, something that we were created to do, really.
Facts.
God created us to do that so that we can bring more life into this world. And so that's what we came to talk about, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And we're just keeping it all the way real. We don't want to hurt no feelings.
A woman's tale.
This is a woman's tale, and we're coming from a perspective from women, but also just trying to maybe give men some insight and, just hear what it's like coming from us.
Yeah, so I just wanted to touch on the taboo thing because I do think that sex is something that does get swept under the rug. So, if you're someone who's listening who you might feel like you're related to us and you don't want to hear this, or you're just an older conservative person, like, listen, sex is a beautiful thing, and the more sex you have, the happier you are. So let's get into it, sis.
Mm-hmm. It should be talked about for sure.
Period.
And so we're gonna roll into our first point by saying that sex should be an experience for all parties. I feel like when people have sex, especially men, they look at it one-sided. Some of them, and I was told by someone one time that men, they kind of got their idea of sex from adult films. And so when you look at it in that way, it's like, okay, well, I'm doing what I think feels good to a woman because she's acting, and she's acting as if it feels great. Any type of thing that's going on, she makes it as if it feels great. So when men first started having sex, whether it was whatever age it may be, they had this idea of let me do what I think will feel good to her without really knowing what feels good to her. And so we grow up and you continue to go on about your sex life in that way and not really trying to figure out what feels good to your partner, but what you think feels good to your partner. So it kind of comes off as kind of like selfish, as in like you're just doing what you want.
Well, I mean, I'm going to put this one on women because I think it's important for women to be open about what it is that they like, what it is that they need. And a lot of women aren't. So a man is usually just going off of her, her reactions to the sex. And, sex feels good, but we want to finish. Like, I'm just going to be real.
I don't even think it's necessarily that,
girl,
you have to finish, because here's the thing. It could feel great.
No, ma'am.
But
no, ma'am. It's about to finish.
I mean, is it though?
Yes, because that's the whole point of sex. Men ain't having sex to just feel good. Men they want to finish.
But our anatomy is different.
No, ma'am.
It is
no, ma'am.
Way more challenging for a woman to orgasm than it is
because
for a man.
Men don't know and women don't know.
That's what I'm
saying.
When
you learn your body,
mm-hmm.
and when you express that to a man, like, hey, this is how my body reacts to this, then you get to experience a finish or an orgasm, and then you're going to want to orgasm all the time. Fact. So I don't know what you're talking about, but a finish is the goal for both parties.
Well, okay, it could be a goal, but I feel like it doesn't have, I feel like it doesn't have to be the only goal. Like, you want to make it an experience, and not
you're
just
right,
because
right.
then when you make it about, okay, I want to finish and you want to finish, like you're so in your head that you're not enjoying the experience. Right. Is what I was saying. Okay. You know what I mean? Like,
but the goal is to finish.
But I feel like the goal is to just experience.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, in that experience, yeah, you want to finish. Right.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like that should be made the sole purpose, even for a man. Because when they have that mindset of I'm trying to finish, you're doing whatever to finish for yourself, but not really thinking about the other person. It's not really like an experience. It's just like I'm doing what I gotta do to get what I need to get.
Sometimes we as women do that though too. And I think it's necessary. Like sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. The experience is great when you are making it an experience, but I think it is also important to just get it done.
So
that's how animals are. They just get it done.
Yeah. And sometimes
we're animals.
And sometimes you're in that mood to just get it done, and sometimes you're not. But that is a great point because like I said, you know, men had this mindset of emulating adult films. And even women, you were taught to make noises and do this even when you're not feeling anything, right? And so that brings us into my next point. Mm-hmm. We all heard about what's his name? The
what's the couple's name?
Whatever his name is. We've all heard that his wife faked orgasms for 10 years, which I will never understand. DJ Envy and his wife. I would never understand why women fake orgasms.
Sis, you're playing yourself. Like you're playing yourself.
Playing yourself.
Because if he thinks that he's doing a good job and you're feeling good, he's going to keep doing that while you keep on faking. And it's like, for what?
But like I said, that's something
that's not an experience.
It's not an experience, but that's also something that women were taught from. Because how were we introduced to sex? Most of us, it was probably adult films.
Exactly.
So in that, they're acting, but you're not thinking of that in that moment. So you're thinking everything that that must feel good. I'm supposed to sound like this. I'm supposed to, move
that's
like this.
That's some true stuff. And
that's not the case. That's not the case for men and women. So that's why experiences are truly important, because you start to learn not only your body, but you start to learn other people, the females' bodies, the anatomy, like someone who could actually teach you, like, this is what feels good to me, and vice versa.
Yes. Speaking up for women, honestly, we have to do our part in being expressive with our partner and letting our partners know, like, hey, I didn't like that, or I really enjoyed that, and this is what works for me. And a lot of us are silent when it comes to that, because we don't want to. I have been too a few times, because we don't want to hurt our partner's pride. We don't want to make them feel a certain way, and we don't want to feel like we might be too experienced. Because I'm gonna tell y'all something. One time I did express to a partner, like, hey, I want to experience having an orgasm too. And they said that was some hoe shit to me. So that could get in the way of a woman wanting to express herself, because it's like, what? You're telling me that me wanting to experience what you experience you're labeling that as being a hoe? Like, so it does put a type of a fear in women to want to express to their partners, like, hey, like, I want to experience this. But if a man says that to you, deuces, like, there's a man out there who's going to ask you questions like, hey, what did you like about that experience? What could I have done better? How can I please you? Because I've experienced that. And that is the type of partner you want to have when it comes to a sexual partner. Like,
and I think that all ties into just sex being so taboo and, and being something uncomfortable that we don't talk about it. And I can say for myself, I was never super comfortable talking about sex, even with my husband, who I've been with for many, many years. And even when those conversations do start, they are very uncomfortable, because you got to think, if you've been with somebody, or even if you started having sex super young, when you were young, you're just doing it just to do it.
Experience
like, you literally don't know what you're doing it for, what it should feel like. You're just doing it just to do it. And you start to grow from that. And then you see, like, okay, well, I would like to experience this, or oh, we did that and that felt nice. But even like when you're in the moment, Because I know men can be very vocal about what they like do it like this.
You shouldn't
do it
talk
like
about
that.
it in the moment, that like,
and that's the
negative things. The negative things.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like it could definitely kill the vibe. So how do you go about it? Because
afterwards,
because if you're doing something in that moment and like it doesn't feel great, it just doesn't really feel.
But like there's a way you can say like, oh wait, do what you was doing before, or wait, slow down a little bit.
Right,
like,
and that's what I'm saying. But even like if when a man does that, like to me, I get like you just get in your head.
No,
I do,
but you don't. I mean, I'm sure
you get in your head, and so then you kind of just. I mean, I know for me, like it's like, all right, if you keep telling me to do it this way when I'm doing it that way, I just feel like I'm not doing it right,
and that's what people don't want to talk about it. But you got to be receptive to what the person is saying to you. Like it's not just about you. In that moment,
I was like that for some time, but I feel like I've grown from that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've just grown into like a woman who like knows my body, and I've become very expressive, like with what I want and what I feel, and I think that it's just important, and I think any partner that wants to be in your life is going to be receptive to that because they want to learn you, they want to learn your body. That's just what it is. But I wanted to say when you was talking about how you were saying something that made me think of this. She was saying, I don't know what she was saying, but it made me think of my goddad. I remember growing up, and to prevent us from having sex, he was telling us that he's a doctor. He was telling us that women don't experience orgasms until they're in their late 20s. And so when you're having sex prior to that, you're basically just being used as a toilet by a man.
That is funny.
And when he told me that when I was I was in high school, when he said that to me, I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm enjoying this.
you really think you are?
As an adult really now, I'm like, yo, he was so right. Like men are really just using you as whatever it is they need to use you for if you're not being able to be pleased like they are being pleased. So express your needs, period.
So be vocal about,
and don't be afraid to be vocal
and continue to educate yourself on what you like and what feels good to you. And honestly, just being transparent, I'm just getting to that point where I'm learning about myself and what I like and maybe what I don't like, and then being able to share that so that it's a good experience for all parties.
Right? But guys, y'all have to be receptive. Like this is nothing that is trying to come for you personally. It's nothing that, we don't want to hurt y'all pride or any. We're literally just saying, hey, I enjoy having sex with you, but can we try this for me? And if you're not receptive to that, then that's a level of immaturity.
Yeah, it's definitely,
and that's for both parties.
Mm-hmm. It could definitely be in the way that you say things, to your partner, and
don't do it while you're in the act. But
I feel like how else will you learn?
Well, not like
you're doing
not in a negative way because you don't want
negative. No,
because I've learned that I have created some anxiety for men, performance anxiety. I've heard this multiple times from one of my closest friends. He told me like he had this thing, and then a partner I had told me he had performance anxiety because he thought he needed to perform for me in order for me to be pleased, and he never wanted, like he didn't want to have sex with me anymore because of that anxiety. Like I would be wanting sex more than him, and I'm like thinking that's weird. And then he finally expressed that to me. So there is a way that you have to go about it.
Can I be honest though? I feel like I'm gonna say about 60% of men have performance anxiety. Whether a woman gave it to them or not, they do. I truly
mean, if they have performance anxiety, probably depending on the type of woman they're like sleeping with, and based off of a woman who's vocal about, hey, you're not about to just have sex with me and finish and then leave me sitting here with a wet butt. Like, no.
Right. Alrighty. So that brings me to our next topic. We talked about, just being vocal. But there are differences in, sex when you're married, when you're single. So we want to talk about some of those things because there's probably people in both of our situations, maybe somebody who's married and maybe somebody who's single and whatever. So, let's talk about the differences in that.
Well, sis, I don't know. I'm not married. I haven't been married. I've been living a single life. And I think I don't know. I don't know. Sis, where you want to go with that one?
So for people who may be married, because I know we were talking the other day, and she said she made a comment saying that you have to basically that experience builds you up sexually. In a way, she said that, right?
I think so.
And I was feeling like, well, you don't have to have so many experiences.
No, I won't say build you up sexually. I mean, it teaches you how to learn your body, because you do pick up different things from different people and you start to learn your body more. And I think that comes with the experience. And I said that not because, all married people don't have experience. I'm saying when you marry young, you don't get
this is giving taking shots.
No, I'm just saying when you marry young, you don't really get that experience to really learn your body. Like she was saying, she just learned how to start communicating, her needs, because she was, it was just like.
But let me say this though. I feel like I've experienced a lot. Like not a lot of different people.
Yeah.
But I feel like I have experienced a lot with the one partner that I've been with.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You don't agree?
Yeah, you know what? I can see that now. Like, yeah, I could definitely see that. I can see that. I don't know. I'm not married, so I don't know what it's like to say, I've experienced everything. I've learned my body with one person. I don't know. Like I said, you learn different things. You pick up different things, and the experience definitely teaches you about your body. It teaches you, even how to speak up about your body.
Right. I feel like there's this this kind of preconceived thing about married people that when you get married, your sex life goes out the window.
I don't believe that. I never
people
said
believe that. People, it's all over the place. People truly believe that. But I want to tell y'all married people that it don't have to be that way. It don't have to be that way. Which brings me into my next point. What are some ways that you could spice up the bedroom? When you've been in, and maybe even not just with long term, maybe not even just marriage but long term, when you've been with the same person for years and years and years, what are ways to keep it spicy?
That's something you're gonna have to answer.
Me?
You've been with somebody for how long? have y'all been together?
It's been about 2013. What is that? 9 years. 9 years.
I can't say. I would say honestly, I don't know. I don't have the answer.
Okay, well, what are ways you like to keep it spicy, keep it romantic?
I like just a build up, just.
I'm glad you.
I like a build up, and I think most women,
most women like a build up. And listen, when we say build up, I don't know what you was about to say, but when we say build up, I'm talking about from the morning time until the nighttime.
Yes,
it could be an all day thing. Send me a nice random text like I love you, thinking about you, you're beautiful, you're this. Like give me something to feel when I, you know what I'm saying? Like yeah.
I need a build up, and I think honestly, if I got to build up every time, I'm good. Like if you're going to try just spit starts, no, like I'm not. That don't work for me. That just like. I want to build up. I want to go on a nice romantic date. I want to feel sexy. I want to feel beautiful. Like those are the things that is going to
play some music when I come home.
The music. Those are the things that's going to unleash. You know what I'm saying? Freaky Tay. Like, you gotta build. I need a build up.
Y'all gotta build women up, and not all the time. And I feel like, and I can say the same for women, right? We could build men up too.
And I think also another thing with that is we could also initiate it more. We don't initiate it as much.
Okay, why do you think that? Because I know a lot of women, including myself, a lot of women have had this problem with their partners.
We don't initiate sex because we're usually the ones doing all the work. We're usually the ones not coming. And that's just the reality of it. So why do we want to initiate sex with y'all if we gotta be the ones, like, you know what I'm saying? It just is like, bro, no, I'm cool because I'm doing everything.
Men
do get lazy, and y'all gotta be a little bit like real about it.
Right. Look, if you want to give that lazy doodle sometimes, then just say that. Like, if like, you gotta be a lazy doodle night,
this one's for me. And I'll be like, all right, it's cool. Like, but not all the time. Like,
I think
I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna let you talk. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say this. If you are pleasing and if you are making sure that I'm finishing too, or women, period, we're gonna start pursuing sex a lot more. Like, it ain't just gonna be drunk sex. It's gonna be like, oh, like I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? Because you're making us feel good for real and not for fake.
I think a reason why women don't initiate as much is because women don't take rejection well. Like,
that's true.
And personally, I can say, like,
especially a man, because y'all like having sex and you gonna tell me no? Oh, you're wild.
Oh, I got some funny stories. I ain't even gonna get into them.
Tell us what.
All right, so look, this one time,
I'm gonna say what too.
This one time, okay, so I had a conversation with this was years ago. This is not nothing that's recent, but this was years ago. We had a conversation. He's like, I want you to initiate more, right? Me, I'm just so, I feel like I'm a little bit awkward in the bedroom. Like, I really am, right? So I'm out with my friends. My sister was there, and I had this one friend, and she told me, just go home and just be like aggressive with it. Like, just say, look, pull it out, let's go, type, right? So
that stuff be working.
Right. Well, I was going to try it. I was feeling good, whatever. I came home. He was asleep, and I had asked him prior to me coming home if he wanted some food from the place. So
you did too much.
No, so I brought the food, whatever. But when I got home, I said what she told me to say, and it was kind of aggressive. And it wasn't me, but it was something I was trying. And he literally disregarded what I said and said, "Where them chicken fingers at?" See, he literally said, "Where them?" He's like, "Man, stop playing. Like, where those chicken fingers at?" And I'm like, "Chicken fingers? Did you hear what I said?" I said, you know, and we literally got into an argument about it because he just felt like that's not you. And it's just like, okay, well, I'm trying something outside the box. I'm trying to be a little spicy, and he wasn't feeling it. And then we ended up arguing about it. So.
I think that is,
and that was rejection. That was, to me, it was
on with rejection. I remember this one time with me, I was, drinking. And after I was drinking, I knew, I wanted to have some sex. And I called up, my partner at the time, and, he came over, but he wasn't trying to have sex. I ended up chasing him around the table.
Bro, what?
Like, he's running. I'm like,
I would have been like, all right, I'm
that's out. Ignorant. I'm like, why are you doing this to me? It's the same. Like, he told me he wanted me to pursue it more too.
Not chasing him.
I was like, chasing him. Like, what are you doing? Why are you running from me?
I'm weak.
I'm just being transparent, but. Yeah, so I ain't never again pursued it after that because you had me chasing you when I was drinking. Like, that's not cool.
That's hilarious, but I think it is very important.
But we ended up doing it though. I'm just saying it was just.
My mood would have been shot. Like, I would have been like, I don't even want to.
I mean, I was still in the morning. I woke up like, you're wild for that one. You had me chasing.
I'm not chasing nobody around that table.
And it clowns me for it. Like, you was chasing me. I'm like, but you asked me to pursue it. Like,
it's giving on what they got going on over there.
I took it too far. Like,
too far is an understatement. I'm weak, y'all. My sister's a clown. But I think it is very important. Women who are listening, honestly, though, I feel like it's very important to initiate with your partner. Sometimes you got to step out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And it's not the most comfortable, but I feel like it gives you this satisfaction afterwards. Like, I did it. It was great. And it makes you want to do it more. Honestly.
And sometimes rejection is a thing because we got to take into consideration, like, we also be rejecting our partners. We don't always feel up for it. We don't.
And that goes back into the reason, like,
and they still try and they still want to do it. And it's like, it shouldn't make you feel like, because everybody don't have to want to have sex when you want to have sex. And that is okay.
And that's the thing too. Like, you're not always going to be in the mood.
Yeah. You're not,
but you can get there easily. Let me tell you that. you could not be in the mood and get there easily
if you're not in sync, you're not in sync. If you don't want to have sex, you don't want to have sex.
No, right. If you don't want to. But I am saying that you could not be in the mood and get in the mood.
I mean, you're not always because I can get in the mood. Like if I don't want to have sex, you can get me in the mood.
That's what I'm saying. You can get me in the mood.
But it's gonna take some work.
Men, I feel like men don't try. Like when they want it, they just think you supposed to just.
Especially if they've been having sex with you, they're like, I'm not doing all that. Like roll over, like let's get to it. And I'm like, no,
it's a no for me.
Put that playlist on that I made.
Not the playlist.
Put that playlist on. Light a candle. Stop playing. Like. You know what to do.
I feel it. So I have another point, which I was wondering. Why do women and men, why do we stay in toxic situations because of sex? Woo! That hit a nerve for her. She turned around like, oh, I'm about to get into it.
You know what? I think that most people who have stayed into a toxic situation because of sex can relate. You know, if it's given, it's given. And most times for us women, it don't be given. Like, it just don't be. So you'll put up with some stuff that you normally wouldn't or you don't really want to for, some good sex. And, that's nothing to be proud of, but that's just really what it is. Like, I do not recommend. But sometimes it do be like that. Like, I don't know why it's like that. I really don't.
I think
I've been in two situations in my life where it was great sex, best sex in my life. And they were the worst, like most toxic situations. Like, I don't know why it's like that. I don't know.
I think what people fail to realize is that
sex ain't everything.
Sex is not everything.
But it be everything.
But I think people fail to realize, especially as adults, because you would hear it as kids like, oh, that creates soul ties and is this and is that.
It does.
But it really is true. Like when you let somebody into your space in that way.
Us women, that's our portal. It's like
you create this tie that is like really hard to rid of, even though you might feel like I don't even like you as a person. Like I don't like
Let me say this. People really do fail to realize how powerful sex really is. Like to the point where when you are having sex and you are experiencing orgasms, you're releasing like these strong energies from your brain. Like literally, like your brain releases so much dopamine. And when you're talking during sex and you're saying these words like, oh, this is yours, or I ain't never going nowhere. I promise you, this is what is creating these ties because our words have power. And if you are a religious person, a spiritual person, anything like that, that the tongue is so powerful. When you're speaking those things while you're in act, when you're literally creating one of the strongest energies, you are manifesting that into your life. But that's what creates.
But let me say, I feel like as women, like it's cool we say that during sex.
But it's not cool. Unless you want to be there forever.
That's a fact. But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, it's not a man's. It's ours, and we're sharing it with you, right?
And when you tell him it's his, he will really act like it's his, like it belongs to him. Like when I want it, you gonna give it up, and can't nobody else even look at you, and there ain't no ring on my finger, sir. I was just saying what I had to say to get the job done, sir.
Had to get the job done, sir. So, but no, that's very important. I feel like that we should take into consideration is just that our bodies, they are ours, and we choose who we decide to share them with. Like all that, it's yours. No, it's not yours. It's mine.
And stop saying that with a person who is not somebody you really want to be with. I'm telling you, like when you're saying that in the act, when I say sex is one of the strongest energies, I kid you not. It really is. It really is. I'm gonna just stop.
Because it really is crazy because you could really be like
kids could feel that
fighting
from their parents. Like
Let me tell y'all something. One time,
it's an energy you can feel,
and this is crazy. You said that because I literally do not like to have sex when the kids are in the house. I don't, and I feel like that's a barrier that I need to get over because when you think about it in hindsight, I'm a nurse. I work long hours. When I get home and he's been with the kids all day, he's tired. So by the time we actually get them to sleep and try to be intimate with each other, it's sleepy. Like we're both sleepy, right? And so he's just like, look, the kids could be there or not. I will do it with the kids there, but I don't like doing that. I swear they be knowing. One time,
Rookie was the kid that always felt the energy.
And maybe that's why I don't want to do it. I would be knock on the door. What y'all doing? And I know what y'all are doing.
To our parents. So that is the thing.
That it's really a thing. But the one time we were in the middle of the day,
energy that can be felt, y'all.
Man, I believe that because we were doing it in the middle of the day, mind you. Logan was minding her jolly old business, didn't bother us for at least an hour, watching whatever. The moment we started and we're under the covers, she comes in and just stands there. I kid you not. Like just looking at us. Just like, what are y'all doing? And we're like, Logan, get out.
No, seriously,
get out. She literally went as far as to hop in our bed in the middle of us while we're under the covers. And it's like, you know what's going on. You gotta go. But that's why I don't like that doing that with kids in the house because or it's soon as you start, the kids is crying. Watch Mickey Mouse all day and make a peep. As soon as you start, they're crying and mom, like
no,
you didn't want me. Exactly. You didn't know me 10 minutes ago. Like the moment I sit down and try to do something for me, it's like,
man,
oh no.
I was dating someone with kids and his kid was all into the video games, Fortnite for hours. Like we don't even exist. And literally, as soon as we would try, somebody is literally at the door the whole time, outside the door. Like these kids, I'm telling y'all, this energy is strong. And I said that to say that it's so strong in between those two people that you really got to be careful what you say. And if you really wanted to use that energy to like manifest something good, say things about yourself. Like, I'm going to be rich. I'm going to be successful, or I am successful. When you're orgasming, I'm telling you, when you're in the act, when you're in the act, use that. Bro, that's how you create soul ties. So I'm saying, use that energy for yourself. I'm telling. Listen, all right.
I get what she's saying, but you're not about to be.
All right. Look, try it. Seriously, like when you're
successful.
Yes.
Like, no, I can't.
And do it with your partner though. Express it with your partner. Like, yo, let's use this like to manifest. Say when you're finishing, say what you want. And I'm telling you, I've tried it. I'm telling you, y'all.
You said you tried it?
Yeah. Well, but I expressed it with my partner, so I didn't look crazy. So I'm like, I want to do this. Let's do it together. And we both said like what we wanted when we was like, finishing. And because you're using that energy, you're manipulating that energy for something like good. For yourself.
It makes sense.
It do. That's what they say masturbation. When you masturbate, but you're by yourself, please use that sexual energy. Please. I'm telling you. Say whatever it is you want. I want a successful marriage, or I want to have a baby this year, or I want to raise. When you're orgasming, I'm telling you, y'all. It's called sex magic.
There you have it. Sex magic. Try it. But we definitely hope that whoever's listening, you took something away from this podcast.
I think that did we even touch on pleasure? Women pleasure?
Yeah, we kind of did at the beginning.
I feel like that's the most important thing. I just want to keep touching on women pleasure. Like, first of all, watch that pleasure show on Netflix because it talks about women's pleasure.
That's why I always felt like, or not always, I don't want to say always, but that's why sometimes I feel like men can be a bit selfish when it comes to sex, because in my mind, me pleasuring you is making me feel really good. Right?
It does feel good.
Like to know that I'm like that you're sexually pleased or whatever in that moment, it makes me feel better. And it makes the sex even more enjoyable. But I don't feel like they have that same mindset. I
think some do.
I don't feel like they do.
But they don't care enough to get the job done. Because you know what? It takes a lot longer for a woman. And the reason it takes a lot longer for a woman is because we don't experience it enough. But it's like once you keep on training our bodies, you know what I'm saying? It'll happen a lot quicker like it happens for y'all. So
and that goes back to even like teaching your partner, like, okay, keep at that or do it that way again. But I feel like men have to make a conscious effort to want to please a woman. Like, don't just go into it thinking like, I'm just doing this to get what I need. And sometimes that might be the case. You might be doing it with somebody who you don't know from a can of paint, and you don't have any type of connection, with what's going on. But when it comes to like relationships and, people who you are with, like, you gotta make it a conscious effort in your mind to want to please that person. Like, I'm talking to men when I say that, because I feel like women, we naturally want to please you. Like, we naturally want you to be pleased, and we want you to finish. Like,
I don't want to please us. They just don't know.
They don't know how. But I feel like, but they also don't put in the effort to know how either.
Yeah,
like,
they're lazy.
Exactly.
They're definitely lazy with it.
It gets lazy, and not just the thrust in the hips. You could be going hard with that. That's cool, but it's the lazy mindset, like, where you're not really trying to figure out,
Yeah, and we should really talk about that, because a lot of women don't know, a lot of men don't know, but women can also orgasm from penetration. It doesn't happen often, but our clitoris is also inside. So that's something we do need to learn how to do, because it works for both parties. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But a lot of women don't know that they can do that.
When you think about and that goes into just knowing like the woman's anatomy. Which a lot of men don't know the woman's anatomy
either. They don't know. And that's what the pleasure show's about too. It's like, there's multiple ways for us women to orgasm. We're lucky for real. We're blessed with vaginas that can come from so many different ways. Mm-hmm. And our orgasms are way better than theirs too. Our orgasms last longer. And it's just like, we need to learn as women, what works for us. And then we need to teach our partners. And let me tell y'all one thing about that is, when you're not vocal with your partner, you're stepping on all of our toes as women. Because when you and your partner don't work out and he goes to the next woman, you know what I'm saying?
No, they don't work out.
I'm just saying, I'm just being honest. And he's going to the next woman. He's not pleasing her because he wasn't pleasing you, and you never said nothing. And
but who really wants to teach their partner
y'all stepping on
how to be better for the next woman?
Girl, it's not about nobody want to do that. I'm just being realistic.
Don't nobody want to do that. Like, if you wasn't gonna get it right for me, go on and keep not getting it right.
No, it's not that. It's just like when you're bruh, stop.
Like, for real.
I've taught a partner exactly. Like, he would ask me, like, what is it? I would teach him exactly.
And now somebody ain't gonna let him go.
Yeah, and that's okay, because I'm hoping that another woman will be doing that for me. Like, we have to, we gotta have each other.
All right, I get that.
Yeah, we gotta have each other's back. Like, I'm not being selfish. Like, I want you to experience good
selfish about mine.
Sex. I want y'all to experience good sex. Women, we gotta experience that. And I'm telling you, when a man watch you really experience an orgasm, it's different. It
hit different.
It hit different. When he be like, oh, I did that. Like, he gonna always want to do that for you. So.
And you gonna always want to be getting up there.
Yes, and you gonna initiate sex a lot more. So it's really on us. Speak up, learn your body, boom, bam, pound. Like,
boom, bam, pound. Go to Pound Town. But
yeah,
I think that we covered a lot in a short amount of time. And like, honestly, we'll probably have a part 2, because there's so much.
We're gonna have a part 2 with some guys.
With some guys, because we want y'all to hear their perspective too, and they could give us insight just like we could give them insight, because when you think about it, like we said, those conversations are not the most comfortable with your partner, but you may be able to talk to another woman or another man about it and just get some insight that you can't get inside of your relationship. So we definitely want to do that, and we hope that, y'all got some gems from this. I know we covered a lot and it was kind of all over the place, but that's just because there's so much to talk about. There's so much to talk about.
Right. And we don't want it to be uncomfortable. We want to make a safe space to talk about sex, because guess what? We're all doing it. And if you ain't doing it yet, you're going to. And that's what.
And if you're not doing it right, it's time to get it right. Like, it's time for everybody to get it right and feel good.
Yeah.
And feel great. And that's the goal. That's the goal. We want everybody to feel great. We just want to thank y'all for tuning in. This is episode 1.
Yeah, so we're gonna be putting out some new content, as much as we can, and we definitely want guests on the show. Men and women are welcome. So if you're ever interested in coming on our podcast, please shoot us an email at awomensspodcast@gmail.com
or women's tale podcast@gmail. But we will put all of our socials in the comments below in the link on this video. We'll put all of our socials. Follow us, like our videos, subscribe to our channel. Like, we're really coming to y'all with some good stuff, some insight. And
because really what we want is for to be a voice for women, and we want women to start speaking up more so that we could create healthier unions between men and women, or women and women.
That's right. And we're still getting it right. So thank y'all again for tuning in. We love y'all.